coming off a good outing last night in New York.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like in New York I really established my fastball pretty well, and so I just had some confidence in it tonight for sure. And just feel like I had some good life to my heater and makes the sweeper in there pretty good. And just able to throw the change up a little bit there later in the game when I get the guys off the sweeper. So yeah, overall just felt pretty good about my fastball. Yeah, it just felt good today. There's just those days where you just feel, I guess, a little better than others, and those one of those days, and just kind of easy to ride to after that first and second inning, just kind of cruised after those runs were scored for me. So yeah, it kind of all adds up into just feeling good and a good night.
Offense was pretty solid tonight. What you see the team
Yeah, they just looked like they were relaxed today. It felt like just calming, relaxed confidence today from the dugout, and just all those guys. Obviously, knowing we're facing a Hall of Famer like Justin Verlander, they're pretty locked in. So it was just one of those days I feel like they had good at bats and kind of one after the other.
You had a solid road trip for 9 against 3 teams that probably are going to be in the playoffs, and then come home and have this kind of a game. What this says about could be real athletics.
Yeah, I think that.
Half of the year.
Yeah, I think that obviously we have some tough stretches this part of the year. I think the last 2 weeks have shown that we can kind of play with anybody, and I feel like we kind of have the vibe back that we had earlier in the year, where we just have a little quiet confidence, and you can just tell when guys are feeling good at the plate, and I think that's all kind of just contagious. And it starts with starting pitching and just having good at bats. So I think that's what we've kind of done the last 2 weeks, and then it seems like the bullpen's been really throwing the ball well too.
You mentioned Verlander. What stands out to you about his ability to have longevity? I know it wasn't a great outing for him tonight, but
yeah, it seems like everything I've heard from other players is that he just has an overwhelming focus all the time, and that he's one of those guys that just really locks it in on the start day. So yeah, to be able to have longevity is obviously just something to appreciate as another player to watch, and obviously it's just a treat to get to face him.
How much more easier and comfortable is it for you to lock in when the team goes out and gets you the big lead like that early?
Yeah, that's a huge thing that I told those guys in the middle of the game there, because after that I'm just trying to keep the ball down and just throw a lot of strikes. So that's really the only way you can kind of start to hurt yourself is just by walking guys or whatever. So it just gives me that peace of mind, and then knowing that my fastball was good today kind of just all added up to a good outing.
With so many 20-somethings in this lineup, do you guys ever talk about the fact that like some of you guys were in diapers or in grade school when Verlander made his debut?
I think that we don't really talk about it a lot because it's kind of like.
JP wasn't in diapers.
I didn't say him. I just said
some of these guys definitely were. That's really cool to think about. Just how cool baseball is, right? I think that's the only sport where you see that a lot. Just like the other sports guys get it. Yeah, I think that we don't talk about it too much, but I think it's definitely something that after the game you're like, wow, like that was someone that I really was looking forward to facing one day, or can't believe I got to face him. So it was cool.
JP, it's actually the 20th anniversary of Verlander's major league debut. How does it feel to outduel him on the 20th anniversary of the start?
I mean that's just awesome. Like you said, longevity wise. I mean, a lot of our goal is to play baseball for 10 years, right? To play at double that is awesome. So yeah, obviously, something that I'll take with me, when I retire one day. It's cool.
3rd, 4th of July.
Yeah, I just love America. Yeah, had some Toby Keith as my walk-up song today. So yeah, it was a fun day all around for everyone.
You were pitched in this stadium about 2 solid games at the beginning of the season, but this one seems to be better in certain ways. You would say that this is your best game in this stadium this year?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, anytime you can come up with nothing but zeros is a great game, and that's something I look to do next time when I face the Braves.
See Denzel kind of going with the bat.
Yeah. I think that I think that's him trusting the process too. Obviously, he's been unreal for us in the outfield, and always wants to. You can always do better at the plate. I feel like that's all our hitters tell you can always do better, and he's been working hard. So see him get into one, I think it was 470. That was pretty cool. That was awesome. Yeah. All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.